Welcome back, everybody,
Sorry.
to another episode of Family Reels. Yay!
Hello.
Thing. You
What was
still didn't
that?
come up with nothing.
I don't even think we need it. I think we're too awesome
Hey,
for it.
It would be cool though. Like we need a little jingle.
I
he was
like
really
jingles,
into
though.
this jingle
I
thing.
do really like jingles. Jingles are pretty
Yes.
awesome. It's how you remember
Right.
everything. I'm telling you, I can remember every commercial in the '90s based on its jingle.
Well, that's true. That's true. Jingles were awesome in that way.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
could remember anything. It was brilliant. And then sex came. Sex sells. And killed the jingle.
That escalated quickly.
Yeah, that got really out of hand
Well,
real
no, sex
fast.
sells. So they didn't need the jingles.
Oh, man.
I'm
All
just
right.
saying.
So we are here. I've got the green up for Jim Carrey as the Riddler.
That's why we're green. Okay.
Yeah, that's why we're green today.
Okay.
Okay, I see.
Even though my theory is he is definitely not playing the Riddler in this movie. He is 100% auditioning to play the Joker. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Yeah.
I guess we could just go ahead and tell it. Like, the movie is, we're doing Batman Forever. If you weren't paying attention last week,
Yeah.
we are doing
Carrey
Batman
No
Forever.
Comedy month.
Yeah.
And I think I failed this one.
I'm not,
I'm glad.
We'll reserve it for later when we're on.
Okay.
We'll
But yeah, this movie stars Jim Carrey. I give him top billing because he's pretty much doing the majority of the work here.
Yeah, for real.
Val Kilmer, I guess. Tommy Lee Jones, Chris O'Donnell, and for some reason, Nicole Kidman. Why?
Yeah.
There's no reason. There's like her
Yeah,
role
that
in
kinda
this
got
is
me
beyond
too.
purposeless.
It is.
It was just kind of like, hey, we need a hot young white girl to be in this movie. I was like,
Well, and she was.
really?
You got to realize at that time she was.
Yeah, it was Nicole.
Definitely
She was
the up-and-comer,
Nicole
yeah.
Kidman.
Yeah.
She's not Nicole
She's
Kidman
not
anymore.
special. Something
Yeah,
bad. That's
but,
bad.
she was the one. Her, Kim Basinger. All these.
There was like a white, skinny white girl with no ass renaissance going on for a while.
Meg. What's her name?
Meg Ryan.
Meg Ryan.
Meg Ryan was a hot
They
young.
were the it girls at the time. So
yeah,
you got to put a role in there that doesn't make sense to me because she wasn't. Her role was negligible in this movie to me.
Hold on, guys, keep talking. I gotta get this pop filter.
Yeah. So yes. So what this movie is for those who have no idea, or
we put the synopsis thing up.
Huh.
You remember?
Let me tell you, I last seen this movie when I was a child, and
I was telling her
that
this came out the year. Oh, this movie came out the year she was born. Jonna.
Damn, that is crazy. I remember this mostly because they were giving out glasses. I think it was McDonald's who was giving out those commemorative glasses, and I must have had like 6 of them. I had like 2 Batmans, Two-Face. It was crazy. They were clear.
Yeah,
they were pretty awesome. They were pretty awesome stuff. Back when you would actually get good stuff in like Happy Meals and meals and stuff, they would give away
it was actually
whole ass cups. Yeah.
Yeah.
What stuff you wanted? The kids today, they give them stuff they want. They do.
They just give them stuff though.
It would like
it does seem like
these kids have no standards.
No, there's some little toys. We still can't figure out what it's from.
Oh yeah, some character meant to show it to you. It's like looks like she got some kind of like braided back French braid, but they're like the big head characters. What are those things
about
called?
The LOLs?
No. It's a character from Marvel, but they made these whatever they are dolls out of them for Happy Meals. And I'm like, I don't know where she comes from.
You're gonna have to show me.
Yeah. Anyway, we're gonna get to our synopsis.
Yeah, Johnny, you ready to do your thing?
Yeah, I don't have much to say, but it's a Batman movie.
It is.
And so he just runs into 2 crazies, Two-Face and the Riddler. And yeah, we'll just talk about it unfolding.
But you know what I do enjoy about this though is how simple the overall like plot is, and it reminds me that superhero movies used to be simple. There used to be a bad guy and good guys.
Your dad said it reminded him of the show.
Yeah, it does 100%.
The only thing they were missing was the bam, pow.
Because the problem with this is like this is when they were trying, even though they weren't successful, to get away from like the campiness of Batman. But it's like, how can you?
No, I don't think they were in this one. They captured.
That's what I mean. That's what I'm saying. Because this is like right after Batman Returns, which was probably, in my opinion, still the best Batman movie. It captures the tone. The characters are all fleshed out well. Then it comes after the one with the Joker, where Jack Nicholson does his thing as a diabolical. So you can be like, yeah, they got rid of the camp. That's definitely not that Joker.
Yeah.
But this is almost like they backtracked.
They did.
It's like, one, Tim Burton is not the director. He's a producer, but I don't know how much he actually did.
Well, nothing. He put money.
I think his name was just his name is just here, but it's Joel Schumacher who, I guess I don't know what his deal is.
I know that name, but he's done other stuff.
He's done a lot of stuff, but I don't have enough to be like, oh, that's his style. But this one is way more colorful. That's number one. The first thing that like jumps out to me is how much more color is in this movie.
It's not really dark.
Absolutely.
It doesn't feel dark.
Yeah.
And then
he did that one. He did this one and the one after.
That makes sense too, because I was gonna say the next one is just as colorful, if not more.
And he did. He did Lost Boys,
the vampire movie,
Time to Kill, Phone Booth, Falling Down. That one with Michael Douglas going around with that bat, just wigging out on everybody. 8mm with Nicolas Cage.
I haven't seen that.
The number 23 with Jim Carrey.
That makes sense.
So he did about Flatliners. Wow, he did a lot of stuff.
That also makes sense.
St. Elmo's Fire. Wow. So he's done a lot of stuff. This dude is old. He's still alive.
But this is not one of his shining moments.
You ever seen Bad Company with Chris Rock and Anthony Hopkins? That was a good movie.
Is that the name of that movie? I've never seen the name of it, but I have seen that. I have seen that.
Yeah.
For some reason, I always like get that confused.
Car wash. What?
That's got to be a typo somewhere. I'm not gonna allow that. I don't care if it's true. It has been stricken from record. He did not do Car Wash.
Oh, The Wiz. Oh,
you're lying.
Really?
I'm not lying. Well, I knew it was somebody white. Yeah.
I don't care.
Really?
Yeah, that director.
His name is just on it, but he didn't do it.
Sparkle, the original movie Sparkle.
Get out of here. Okay, that's enough. I don't need to hear anymore.
I know, Mom, naming every single movie.
No, I'm not actually. He has done a lot. This man.
Oh yeah, I know. I mean, he's got. So I know he did like the movie adaptation of Phantom of the Opera and stuff like. He's done stuff. So I'm not like,
this dude is old.
It's just this whatever this is. This should have been a Tim Burton thing.
Like for real, he was born in 1939. Yeah, he's a little older than dude, but yo.
Is he still alive? Is he still alive?
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's 83, 82.
I don't know why that sounds way longer than that. It just
but he looks way older.
You know.
We don't want to call it out, but we know that what do you say? White is not known for
its ability to not crack. Oh my God.
Yeah. He's pretty old looking.
All right.
Anyway, so I just wanted to see, just to kind of get a dynamic of what he's directed, because this departure with this movie and obviously the next one, it's a huge one. There was darkness, but it was a lot of color, which was very interesting. A lot of color. Yeah, definitely.
And I don't know if that had to do with the fact that they were using the Riddler and they needed like these greens, but I feel like in the same way they did the Joker with the purple, they could have still had that darker.
Oh yeah, no, they could have. Been,
world.
Definitely, they could have. No, this
world was bright. Like
this was a different. Oh wait, hold up though. I got one. Maybe I don't want to get ahead, but I just have to mention it because I have it in my notes. How the heck did they get from Gotham to New York City when it crashed into.
We'll address that. No, when we get to the part
hold
where
on. Did I miss something? Are they not in Gotham?
no, it's
Yes,
okay.
they are. Yes, they are. They say they're in Gotham. Commissioner Gordon's there. It's Gotham. But in this one scene, I think I don't
Didn't
know if
think
they
things
tried to
through.
make it seem like they ended up there.
I feel you. I feel you. Okay,
Yeah.
I get it. I get it.
Cause I'm like,
All right.
okay. Anyway,
So for
who
all
wants
this
to start
movie's,
out?
I'll start it since I picked it. For all this movie's faults, it starts in a good place for what I think all superhero movies should start, with a superhero doing some superhero stuff.
Yeah, he's all grabbing
You
his
know what I mean?
weapon.
I shouldn't have to wait 50 minutes to see the guy do the thing, and everything doesn't have to be an origin story of somebody. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I love this because Two-Face is just doing this vault thing to trap Batman because he blames
He's doing
Batman.
this crazy stuff.
Yeah, and then they show the clip of what happened to him in like 15 seconds. So we didn't have to rehash like a 10-minute back. You know what I mean? Like, he was just like, yeah, he was a guy. Fun fact, you remember? You know who plays Harvey Dent in the original Batman? In the first movie.
Mm-mm.
Billy D. Williams.
What?
Billy D. Williams plays Harvey Dent. He's Harvey
In the
Dent in the
original
movie.
movie?
In the movie with the Joker, Billy D. Williams plays Harvey Dent. And which got me thinking, how cool would it have been if Billy D. Williams played Two-Face in this one?
Wow.
It would have been pretty cool. It would have been the coolest Two-Face ever.
I don't know, but it was crazy enough that it was Tommy Lee Jones. It's like,
Tommy Lee Jones might be doing the best acting in this entire movie, though.
I didn't expect him like that.
He is actually he believes in the role. He is going for it. He's Tommy Lee Jones. I mean, he is Tommy Lee Jones
for real. He definitely is.
Yeah.
So he's got the security guard or whatever.
Yeah, he's got a security guard who's just like, "Oh no, don't hurt me." That's all his lines throughout this whole thing. He just screams like a little girl the whole time, and he's like, all right, this was gonna happen. He flips the coin, which is good. Once again, they get something out of the way early that he doesn't really make any major decisions without flipping the coin. And it basically was like, hi, you don't get to die, but you got to go in the vault. You know what I mean? And then Batman comes, he falls into the trap. It's acid. He does
like got the thing over there. It's a trap.
I was like, duh. It is obviously a trap. I was like, he just jumps right in. He doesn't think. He doesn't look around like,
Nope.
That's why I was like, over the years, I feel like they've done a lot. Yeah, I feel like over the years, just in general, they've done a lot better of showing Batman as like a detective and not just like a jump in and save the day superhero.
Right.
Which is why Batman is good outside of anything Justice League. By himself, Batman is always great.
Yeah.
And with anything else, he's just kind of like, you have to really soup him up in ways that don't make sense in order to make it make sense. Like, oh, he's fighting Superman. Well, then I guess he just has all this kryptonite on hand, and I guess he just happens to have all this armor that can, it's like, you shouldn't have to do that. Just let Batman be Batman. And then it's a helicopter fight.
Right. Okay. Now we're coming to what I'm talking about.
It's not bad though. I kind of liked it.
No, it's not. It's pretty good. Two-Face just shoots the pilot trying to shoot Batman.
He's like telling him, he's like,
he was trying to shoot him, or he was getting mad.
He doesn't care either way. That's the part that I like about it. Is he just shot in that direction.
Yeah, I think he did it on purpose. He didn't care. He's just like, stupid pilot.
He was like, he knew he was going to end up shooting him, but he was like, okay, well, you're going to.
You're in my way. Is basically what happened.
But you're helicopter.
The helicopter, it goes down. It's just.
Wait, hold on. Wait, let's talk about a part we missed. So when they're in the safe still, and the helicopter's carrying Batman and the hostage or whatever, all of a sudden the whole safe starts filling up with
acid.
The guy, he yelled out, boiling acid.
Yeah, like, how do you know this?
Is there any other kind of acid?
I mean, does the average person know what boiling acid looks like?
No, I get what because it is kind of a thing, because it didn't take him but a second to register. As soon as they started coming out, he goes, it's boiling acid.
It's not like in that part they could have like keys dropped or whatever, and all of a sudden they sizzle up or whatever. You'd be like,
There was no reason for him to know that off the bat.
Yeah, it's off the bat.
Like he had no doubts in his mind.
Not a single one.
This was a very well-informed security guard.
I was gonna say, if he's nothing else, he is an acid expert, and he's got his master's or whatever, the doctorate in acidology or something. I don't know.
If anybody yelled it out like that, I could probably believe them. I'm like, yeah, it must be.
I don't even know. I'd have been like, how do you know? We haven't tested that. Like, for all we know, this is water.
Right. Well, in the movie I was looking at, I was like, water? I was like, they're going to drown them before setting? I don't know. It looked like water to me.
But he knew it was acid. So, yeah, that was faux pas number whatever. If you will. And in that same scene, this is the thing, when that's the one I was talking about, where the helicopter ends up crashing into the face of what appears to be the Statue of Liberty.
Oh, no. Okay, so that is a big thing in Gotham. They have their own Statue of Liberty-esque thing over there. So it's
I knew it looked different.
No, but it is. Like, in anything, like, you'll see, especially in, like, the games, it's like a huge part of it. It's just right there.
Yeah.
Literally in the middle of the ocean.
New York, like, what?
Yeah, they have their own thing. They have their own thing.
Okay. I get it.
Own Lady Liberty, I guess.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay. That took care of that.
Oh, yeah, you're good. You're good. We figured that out.
So he thought he was getting him, killing him because they made that thing fall or whatever.
Yeah.
But that was before that. Then and what happens because it was just going all over the place. I'm gonna be honest.
No, this movie moves kind of quick, even though it's like
it does.
It kind of like threw me off.
Yeah, well, basically, yeah, he does. They do the thing. He thinks he kills him. He gets upset that he doesn't, and he goes away.
No, that's the other one.
Jeez.
Right.
Yeah, so we go to the next scene, which is where we're introduced to Jim Carrey as Edward Nygma.
Well, no, didn't he meet it?
It's after this, because that's why he leaves this meeting to go.
What?
No, you met her outside of.
No, he met her before the bank. I mean, outside of the bank.
He met her during the bank, yeah, and she's just like, "Oh, hot stuff," and he's like, "All right."
Yeah, she's flirting with him.
Yeah.
I read your book. Bye.
Oh yeah.
Like, that's it. It's a totally unremarkable meeting. It doesn't set up anything later. Like,
you're right.
The craziest thing about it is, as far as I'm concerned, none of that stuff ever comes back around to mean anything.
Yeah.
They try to make it seem like it does, but it really doesn't.
No.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was taking notes and stuff.
Nothing she says or anything like seems to catch anything that becomes pertinent even.
Well, and that's the thing. In the first one, Kim Basinger plays a pretty pivotal role in the story. She's not just like a background character. In the second one, his love interest is Catwoman. She is pretty much one of the main characters in this story.
That was with Michelle Pfeiffer.
Yeah, Michelle Pfeiffer. Oh man, such a good movie. And then you have this, and then you have her. She's doing nothing. And then the fourth one, they kind of just drop it all together. Thank God.
She's not adding anything.
Yeah.
No form of fashion.
And then Batman and Robin, they just drop. They're like, all right, that's enough of this. Like, they just drop it, which is good.
Well, there was this idea, and there still is a little bit, that there always has to be a love interest.
Well,
that's
if it makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, you can, but when it doesn't add anything.
Well, what I think is, the thing is, if you're gonna do it, if it doesn't add anything, you don't need it in a movie. The comics, he always has a love interest of some sort. There's many of them. There's Vicky Vale. There's Selena Kyle. It's not like it's an ever evolving rotation harem of women.
He's a man whore.
He is a man whore. He's a billionaire. What do you want him to do?
But to put him kind of as a main, put her kind of as a main character.
It always okay if the dude does it. He's a playboy.
It's his cover most of the time.
Right. Okay, so now he meets Edward Enigma.
And I'm just gonna go on record that I would say that out of all the Riddlers that I've seen portrayed in anything, and I haven't seen the new one yet, so I don't know how good it is. I've heard good things, but the one from Gotham, the show, is the best.
Yeah.
Because I feel like there's like with the Riddler, there's a fine line where people play him where they're either Joker-esque like Jim Carrey, or they're uber serious, which is what I assume the one that Leonardo DiCaprio was gonna play was gonna be. But
that's what it looks like in this new one.
but it's also a different world too.
Okay.
But this is kind of like the one from Gotham is kind of like the fine line where he's not so much flamboyant as he is just awkwardly smart. You know, so it comes off as like a personality, and it's just
Disorder.
better. Yeah, it's just better that way because it feels like he's not trying to be the Joker.
Well, that's kind of like, well, I don't know. You might not, because I didn't see that. I'm just saying it sounds like how the Scarecrow was in Titans. You know, he was more like a character that was.
I did see him in there.
Yeah,
and I didn't like how but it made more sense than trying to go Joker-esque. Because I feel like it's just so easy with Batman villains because all of them are technically insane.
Yeah.
So it's always easy to just be like, oh, yeah, he's crazy.
Yeah.
What's his personality? Oh, crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it still made it. It still worked because for what that is, like everybody's supposed to be a psycho in Gotham, but Jim carried it.
He Jim carried the freak out of this thing, man.
Yeah, I'll have to say he definitely super.
I enjoyed it though.
But I will say this.
But I was gonna say, and it was the best part of the movie because
Tommy Lee Jones
you can't not, huh?
Not you.
No, I still think Tommy Lee Jones was the best part of this movie.
He was entertaining.
Yes, but Jim Carrey. He pulls you in like he always does because he is just. He just takes a care. He lives it.
Yeah.
He lives it and breathes it, and and even in its so even non-realistic type of way, the characters that he ends up playing or how their roles are out of control, like liar, like this.
Yeah.
But you still, in a way, believe him. I
agree, and I think. But even in like one of the things I hate that movies do. This one does it. The Amazing Spider-Man 2 does it. The next movie does it. Batman Return does it. Whenever there's a character who has to become that character, they always start off as this like glasses wearing nobody whose hair is always jacked up and misshapen. And it's like, and then something happens.
Why they do that?
All of a sudden they become cool
because they have to write. They have to. They need something that's a stark difference from what they're going to go to. You know what I mean?
But they don't have to be the complete opposite.
That's what I'm saying. Well,
apparently they do.
He could have easily been a competent guy with crazy ideas, you know, who wears a suit and looks good, and then he gets fired.
Not in this Batman.
Then he loses his shit. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah,
he looks like he's sketchy.
With this Batman and all the colorfulness and all the corniness and everything there was. So it totally fit in to that whole
I get that, but it's just
scenario.
Like, I saw that last movie with Michelle Pfeiffer. She did the exact same thing.
Yeah, not over, but she played that Catwoman thing to the hill.
But it's
with all of it.
She's just like, oh, let me get your coffee, and she's just that character, the pushover, the shove over.
Yeah. But see, I think that's a DC movie thing too.
Well, I said Amazing Spider-Man did it with Jamie Foxx as Electro.
Yeah,
just some weirdo.
Well, yeah, that was horrible.
And that's so funny they mentioned that in the last movie.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. They like their characters. Overall, every character, even from the show, everything is a mild mannered this, and then
that's kind of cheesy. Yeah, you're right.
They turn it to this.
Yeah.
Wild whoever they become based on whatever happens. And in this case, he was like that, but he was still really crazy, even when he was that quote unquote mild mannered.
Yeah, and that's one of the only things I'll give him because he is still kind of like, well, he's obsessed. It's very clear that he has an obsession with Bruce.
Because even in the beginning, when he tells him, I'm gonna have to, he's telling him he wants him to, basically give him money to
fund his project. His crazy mind,
and he's like, okay, I'm gonna have to go think about it, or whatever. And he's like, well, that's not good enough. I need to know now, And he's like, well, then it's gonna be no. Then he's like,
well, he wasn't saying it wasn't good enough. He's like, that's too risky, manipulating brainwaves and stuff like that.
That the Riddler, he was saying it wasn't good enough.
He needed an answer now.
He had to wait. He was like, no, I need an answer now.
Can we talk about one of my biggest issues with this movie, and that is Val Kilmer doing Bruce Wayne?
Ugh.
This is so bad.
I'm like, he's the worst. And I'm going to tell you, I didn't like the Bruce Wayne in Titans, right?
I still don't, because he's trying to hide that accent, and it's bad.
Yeah. But not just that, he just seems so. But see, I didn't understand because I don't follow all the way through, and it's like, why is he so old and
he's supposed to be
Batman?
Right,
you know what I mean? But I later on, especially through the third season, I kind of got that, he was Batman after a certain point, and that he was more in that position where he was trying to mentor, if you will, the Jason Todds and all that stuff. But so I thought he was the worst. But Val Kilmer as Bruce Wayne is absolutely the worst thing I've ever seen.
It's
ever.
So bad.
I enjoy watching. I think he's kind of handsome.
Yeah,
but you know what it is, and we
he was a heartthrob at that point.
We said this for years. We said this for years. If you take George Clooney and Val Kilmer and mash them together, you have one very good Batman. Because on one hand,
to me, okay, I mean, honestly, see, it's kind of hard. Michael Keaton, I mean, I loved his Batman, and his Bruce Wayne wasn't bad.
No, because he had two separate voices.
But I liked, but I like George Clooney's Bruce Wayne so much better.
It makes the most sense.
Oh my gosh, he is like that. He's got enough suave, humility, but confidence, all wrapped into one.
He could be womanizer.
All the other Bruce Wayne.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If you put them together, if George Clooney was playing Bruce Wayne and Val Kilmer was playing Batman, you have something. Because when Val Kilmer is Batman, it makes sense. He talks in that low voice. He has the demeanor and all that stuff down packed. But he does the exact same thing when he's Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Michael Keaton knew how to switch it.
Michael Keaton was the best. If you had to say person who did them both, he was the best of both worlds, if you will.
I would say, Michael Keaton. I think even though he wasn't given a good chance, Ben Affleck did a good job of portraying both separately.
Yeah.
I even think Kristen Bell.
You know what? I think, I'm Batman fatigued, so I did not. I watched The Dark Knight. That was the first one. Was that the first one?
No, The Dark Knight was with the Joker. Was the second one.
Kristen Bell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. That was the second one.
Yeah.
Oh, well, whatever the first one was, I kind of watched.
Batman Begins was the first one.
Oh, Batman Begins. Okay, I kind of watched it. And then I didn't like him. Just his whole aura bothered me. So I just couldn't get into it. So I didn't see the other one. Again, just only bits and pieces. And so at this point, when what's his name you just mentioned him?
Affleck.
Yes, thank you. When Ben Affleck, is a hit and miss for me. There's some things I like him in, and then some things it's like, God, please just don't. So it's like, and he's more missed than hit. So I couldn't make myself try to embrace that character. And the only thing I've seen more than anything was the Justice League, because your dad watched it
that's a bad
billion times.
Anything.
So yeah. So unfortunately, I wouldn't know how well he might have done.
And none of us will, because both the movies he was in turned out to be absolute garbage fires. Like,
wow.
Yeah, because this Batman that came out was originally supposed to be his solo project, but the reception of the what was it, Batman vs Superman, and then Justice League basically made him be like, fuck that, I'm out. I can't. You guys are doing jack shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They have to rewrite it and do all this stuff. But I mean, but I still think that playing an older, gruffer Batman, he nailed it. He hit it out the park. The movies didn't do a good job of actually showing any of that stuff anywhere. So
So we already know about our problems with DC and their movies.
Yeah.
Overall, but anyway, at this point, so now where are we at? Let me see.
This is where he sees the bat signal.
Right.
And then he goes to meet the stupid.
And she's over there trying to seduce him. She's
Yeah.
over where the bat signal thing is with lingerie and stuff, and it's like,
yeah, I just put I put in my notes. She's coming on way too strong.
Yeah, that's what I put too.
yeah.
Because she's just like, hey, big boy.
I put Nicole Kidman activated the bat signal, tries to seduce
For no
Batman.
reason.
I was like,
No, the bat
really?
signal is not a beeper.
And then the commissioner, shows up. Like,
this guy's useless.
Well, she caught herself not just seducing him, but giving him a clue, I guess, saying that Two Faces coin is his Achilles heel.
But then he was also like, yeah, I know. Like, everything she says, like, even when they meet at the beginning, she's like, oh, he's a classic such and such. She's like, yeah, I know.
You don't need a doctorate to know that.
She's all trying to say things at the same time as him.
Why are you here? Why are you
Make
here?
yourself so smart.
Yeah, literally. Why is she here, director?
He is as useful as Commissioner Gordon is at this point.
Yeah, and he was useless.
Useless.
He's the most useless Commissioner Gordon, I think.
There's a scene, one of my favorite scenes in this movie is when he's just waiting by the bat signal, and then he sees Batman fly by on that plane. He's just like, okay. He starts shaking hands with the other officers like he did something. And I'm just like, yo, you can't be serious right now. And he was.
Wow. Yeah.
God, he's so bad. He's just useless.
So, at this point,
they do make that joke in Lego Batman. Where he's like,
at this point, oh yeah. At this point, now what's his name? Enigma is over at the lab losing his itch.
His absolute mind.
And then ends up using his boss who did the classic thing.
No, his boss came in.
I'm gonna report you.
Yeah.
And
as soon as I was like, you idiot. You fucking moron.
You should have just walked in and walked out.
Write your own suicide note next time.
Why they always tell the bad guys what they're gonna do? I'm gonna call the authorities on you.
Like he's just gonna be like, all right, I guess I'll just wait.
Right. Oh, okay, darn it. I'm gonna stop everything I'm doing right now.
You've seen that this man is
and not kill you.
Yeah. Like we've already established that he's not stable. He's obsessed with Bruce Wayne. He's really upset that he said no to his project.
What he told him he was fired.
It's like,
yeah.
It's like,
why am I tied up? What's happening? When I get out of here, it's like you just have to. Let's just think about it. Let's just stop for a second. Let's just stop. You're tied up with a thing on your head.
Right.
You can't move. Why are you still think you're in control of the situation? You gotta stop.
I would already think I'm dead. Like
this is the trying to show the boss as the true a-hole,
Right, so you don't feel bad. So you'd be like, well, you did kind of deserve it. Look at him being an ass. Like, no. Because if that was any sane person would have moved to the groveling moment where it's like, I'll do anything. Just tell me what you need. Tell me what you want. Just don't kill me. But none of that happens.
No, he's arrogant to the end.
Yeah.
Literally.
Oh my God.
So I guess he does the thing, whatever that thing is doing.
Well, he has a 3D TV that he has him look at.
I think my theory is that he was just testing it out until he realized what it can do.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't think he knew that.
That's what it was. And so he was doing all that, and he's all like, the boss with the thing. And then when he stops it, he's like, what are you doing? And he's still talking.
It's like, yeah, you have to stop. You have to stop. You're not.
He dug his own grave.
This guy's got tied up, a thing on your head. He just did something with your brain, and you still talking stuff.
You're still strapped up in that chair.
He was like, yo, I didn't know this would happen, but now your brain waves are my brain waves, and now I'm smarter than you. I'm smarter than I was. Bingo, ideas. And it's like, just stop. Just stop. You can't tell anybody about this. He knows you can't. You can't get out of this. Just shut up.
So at the end of the day, he ends up throwing him out the dang window.
Yeah.
And then making it look like
caught by the thing on his head.
He went back he ran back to go get it.
Yeah, he did. He was like, he ran over there and he's like, just let it fall.
And then he made it look like a suicide with the note that said, what did it say?
The note said, I can't take it anymore or something like that. It was very simple. Like, it wasn't. Oh no, it said goodbye, cruel world.
Yeah, goodbye, cruel world.
It's like,
okay, that's it.
Yeah. And I like how Bruce Wayne was kind of like,
yeah.
And
the
Commissioner Gordon was like, nope, this is good.
Suicide. It was suicide, definitely suicide.
clearly
no
suicide.
investigative work at all.
None. He was just like, we got to get out of here. I want nothing to do with anything in this town.
Yeah, exactly.
That's when he started leaving riddles.
He really left that first one, and it was
which I don't know what I didn't write that one down, but yeah, he did. And then he takes home chick Dr. Meridian to the circus, and then
are we right there?
No, we're not there yet.
We're not.
No, because we get to the point where
I don't take the same kind of detail.
He goes to go see her, and he breaks down the door because he thinks somebody's attacking her, but she's actually boxing her.
Another useless scene. He's like, a friend of mine wants me to ask you some questions and blah blah blah. Oh, you like bats? He's like, oh no, it's a Rorschach test. Ooh, why do you like bats? I don't. I'm not Batman or nothing. I don't know what you're talking about. Like, this whole scene is just so dumb because then he's like, oh, you still play with dolls? And she's like, oh, it's a dream doll and stuff like that.
A Malaysian dream doll.
Yeah, and then because he gets super defensive, she was like, oh, do you need one? He was like, no, why would I need one? Do I look like a man who needs one? He's like, I eat raw meat, baby. Like, he gets crazy. Like, it's like, what is happening in this entire scene?
It's like, horrible. And I think those things with those two together, I mean, Val Kilmer and Nicole Kidman are the worst.
They have no chemistry whatsoever, bro. No. It's like watching two doorknobs act against each other. It's so bad, man, because it's like, okay, because you're right, Mom. This is Val Kilmer in the 90s.
Yes.
This is Val Kilmer.
Yeah, he was
in
hot.
the 90s.
He was hot.
And this is Nicole Kidman. In the 90s.
Both of them. They were
it
hot.
Amounts to absolutely
jack
shit.
That's like a single, like.
Man, it was, I guess two negatives don't make a positive in this situation.
Two positives don't make it. It didn't work. It didn't. I didn't get anything. Nothing. Yeah. No chemistry. And then
it just takes a weird turn because he's just like, I got to get you out those clothes. And she was like, what? He was like, and into a black dress. They go to the circus. And while this is happening,
black dress to the dance. I think the black dress was when he went to the other thing.
He invited her to go to the circus because it was like a big charity event.
Yeah.
And so he goes and basically the same thing. I have once again notes because we missed it. The Riddler he's doing his montage of trying to figure out his name or whatever the case may be.
Oh,
He leaves another note at Bruce Wayne's door, and I'm like, Wayne Manor has no cameras?
Right.
Like, I don't know.
No security.
I've seen in multiple movies his surveillance system for all kinds of crap. You don't need to tell me you got sliding doors. Door.
There's another part later on where that same thing happens. Drives you nuts.
It's so bad. It's just like, come on, get your shit together.
Right?
Yeah. Get your shit together, Batman. What a dummy.
Right. Bruce Wayne and Batman looked the most keystone in this damn movie than I've pretty much ever seen outside of the show Batman. It's crazy. Oh my gosh. Okay, so
now we get to the circus.
The circus. Okay, so
this is where you meet the
Flying Graysons.
And I will tell you that when this movie came out, not a soul was more excited than me. Robin was my favorite. I was so excited for Robin. And another tidbit: did you know that Robin was supposed to be in Batman Returns?
Oh, why not?
They thought
which one was Batman Returns?
That was the one with Catwoman and the Penguin.
Oh, okay. And what happened?
They thought they would be too much. They'd have too many
characters.
Oh,
okay. Yeah, they would cancel each other out.
Now, here's the coolest part about that. Guess who was going to play him?
Who?
Marlon Wayans.
Yeah.
When I say they had action figures, everything was already made up, and then they just last minute was just like, we can't. It's just going to be too conflated. It's not going to make sense. How are we going to get them into this movie?
Right.
With so much going on, it would have been.
Yeah, and all that. To be honest, this was bad enough. Like,
yeah, it was a good move. So it was like, all right, good.
No, I'm talking about this movie. It was bad enough. I mean, not that they put it in there, but it was like the entrance and how the whole. Yeah, they.
And this is probably, out of everything here, probably the most accurate to comic scene in this entire thing, except that Two-Face isn't the one who kills his parents.
Right.
But it goes pretty much the same way.
Yeah.
And it's not a bad scene until you hear all the commotion starts. Basically, Two-Face hijacks the Ringmaster. And he's like, yo, there's a bomb. If Batman doesn't reveal himself or whatever the case may be.
Oh, yeah.
It's going off.
I thought he was going to do it.
And then everything starts going crazy. And all of a sudden, Val Kilmer stands up. And then his gruffest Batman voice, Harvey, I'm Batman. And I'm just like, no one heard him.
Oh, you didn't even hear him, right?
And I didn't hear him.
That's so stupid to me that no one heard him. Chase was sitting right next to him. And whoever that reporter chick who's been following around all day was right on the other side.
It seemed like he didn't want anybody to hear. He wasn't trying to shout that.
Right next to, Inspector Gordon was right next to the doctor. I mean, everybody was right there. Nobody heard him say that.
It was just so funny. Jonna, you're 100% right. He said it, but didn't really want to say it. He was like, Harvey.
He was trying to get caught up.
Well, I tried my best, guys. You saw me. Everyone was there. I can't say I didn't give it a good old.
I tried. You heard me.
It would have made even more sense.
But nobody did hear.
Then he just disappears, and she's like, Bruce. He goes smacking niggas all up the side. He does this multiple times in this movie, by the way. He's just beating the shit out of people as Bruce Wayne. And I'm just like, come on, psychologist. Your job, your only job, is to be able to figure people out.
Okay, and let's not go with the whole Clark Kent, Superman. You're never in the
disguise is good, but all the things he does say otherwise.
Never in the same room. Suddenly, Batman, Bruce Wayne disappears, and suddenly Batman is on the.
And it's at least with like Superman and Clark Kent, it's usually a better excuse. Like, you don't expect to see Clark the places Superman is ever.
Sure.
So it's not like. And in the cartoons, the old cartoons, they always used to be like, "Oh, Clark, you just missed him." He'd be like, "Oh, I think I know." Wink. That kind of stuff. But you would never be like, "Oh, I wonder why Superman's flying over there and Clark is at home." Like, it doesn't make any sense. You never ask those questions. But in places where Batman has to be, like at charity things like this, and Bruce Wayne is also at, you'd be like, the only person here that isn't here. Probably Bruce Wayne. Nah, it can't be. Well, it's like, I get everybody else being aloof because why would you ever suspect Bruce Wayne? But a psychiatrist, it's your job,
But people that have ever worked with him or talked with him,
and not even just that, he's
giving it away about the bat on the brain.
He's been giving it away this whole time. It's like, oh, I'm not Batman.
I don't know why you would even think that, even though you didn't say it.
You forgot to take your eyeliner off. Okay. But so basically, this thing is pretty. This scene is pretty good. He sets the bomb. The Flying Graysons have the dopest like powwow. They're just like, yo, we could beat the shit out of these niggas. And they do. They immediately go right to work and start beating the shit out of everybody. And they're just like, let's get this bomb out of here. They're on the wire, and then he shoots the wire after asking the coin if he should.
Well, yeah.
And he does, and they die, and it's pretty horrific. It is pretty horrific. And luckily, Dick did not have to see any of that.
Right. He didn't. He just came back and was like, what the hell?
After he saved I feel like no one acknowledged that the whole time.
He threw that big ass bomb.
Nobody.
Over the.
There's a lot of water surrounding Gotham. Like, everywhere they go just happens to always be
the next to water.
The one building that's next to water. Like, I know, like, that the Gotham is technically supposed to be like an island, but everywhere they go that's important is right next to the water.
I guess everywhere is next to the water in Gotham.
I mean, look,
Wow.
there's no central Gotham at all. It's just everything is outer rim Gotham.
Yeah,
How
pretty
big-
much.
They make it seem pretty big. Like Gotham's pretty big.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's New York.
they really do make it seem like, well, just like Metropolis, New York City-esque,
Yeah,
basically.
one set in the future, one set in the 1950s.
Yeah, pretty much. So at the end of the day, after all that, he comes back and all the, his family, all the other Graysons
They dead.
are dead.
I say
So
you dead.
basically, Batman takes him in, if you will, and he brings him to what's his name? Wayne
Wayne's
Manor.
Manor.
Wayne.
And after the people leave, that whoever they're supposed to be, children's services or something. But how old is he supposed to be?
And that's the thing. Well, because I think he's
He's
over
supposed to be a
18.
teenager.
No, he's over 18 for sure. Because Val Kilmer definitely calls him when he was at a certain point in this movie when he's trying to be his partner. He basically does say, "How about Dick Grayson, college student?" So he's out of high school for sure.
Okay.
We don't know how long. But it's also Chris O'Donnell, and he can't play anything under like 21.
Yeah,
at this time,
exactly.
so
Exactly.
I was
So
gonna say maybe
okay,
he's
because
like,
it was weird that he's being dropped off by whoever.
well, just because he didn't have anybody. That's what they said.
Okay.
They were like, he has no family, he has nobody left. But he could have went with, and the other thing though is he could have went with the circus because they left.
Yeah.
He would have went with them. So
Yeah.
it's kind of a weird move. Yeah, it's kind of a weird move.
Yeah, it was weird.
Wait, did he get dropped off, or did he drive his motorcycle?
Gordon, by Commissioner Gordon, who does one thing this entire movie.
Why
He's
at
like,
the end of the scene does he try to leave on the motorcycle?
Well, that's because he was just like, all right, now that the cop's going, I'm out. I just didn't want to be bothered with all the services or whatever the case. People asking.
So it was his motorcycle?
Yeah, it was his.
Yeah, it was his motorcycle.
He followed Commissioner Gordon on his motorcycle.
Right. Yeah.
He was, so
trying
it
to make
was
sense
his
of that.
motorcycle. Yeah. Because he was just sitting there. He was like looking at him like, hurry up, man, just leave. Talk too much.
He's like, okay, all right, thanks for the offer, but I'm out of here.
And then Bruce Wayne basically bribes this nigga with motorcycles. Because he's like, hell yeah, you might want to fill that up. Let's go to the garage.
Well, they
Go
talk about how he was talking about how he saved his brother's life or whatever, and he came in like a Robin and stuff just to kind of set that up.
He tells Alfred that later. Yeah.
No, that's later when he was trying to. Yeah.
Oh yeah, with Alfred.
Well, that's because what Bruce does is basically he's like, hey, yeah, you can leave. Just come to the garage real quick. Oh man, these are some pretty cool bikes, huh? And Dick Grayson, he's clearly like a gear junkie.
He's like, okay, see you later. See you around, kid.
And then there goes like, yo, wait, maybe I can stay for a little bit.
Okay.
Let's not make any decisions right now. So it's such a dick thing to do to be like, I know, kids. This Hansel and Gretel, hey kids, you want some candy?
Right.
Dick.
So that makes him stay, basically. And then he told him about well, did he tell him not to go in that door, or
no, he didn't tell him yet. We haven't gotten to that part
yet. He just he kept seeing that, and he was just like I want to know what's in there.
And they don't do a good job of hiding it. It's clearly right there in the entrance.
Yeah, so that scene when Alfred comes out and calls him, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm right here." He's like, "Oh, okay, I was just checking."
Which is dumb. It's just super dumb.
Yeah.
And then he does the whole little.
Just wanted to make sure you weren't gonna look at me going to this secret room. All right, bye.
Like he was trying to throw it out there.
Yeah, basically that's what he did. But even then, Alfred, that's what Alfred did. He gave it away.
Yeah,
he basically gave it away. Because we get the random chase scene with Two-Face.
No,
go ahead.
No. I'm just thinking. Okay, we got past the part. Okay, you were talking about.
I want to talk about that last part though, where he follows Alfred,
the Riddler, and I put down like he was like hamster, puzzler.
Oh yeah, the montage of him trying to pick a name.
Yeah.
I wanted to talk about something before we move forward about how he follows Alfred. The whole over the top parkour he does
Oh yeah, that's what I
to
was
get to the
to get
bottom
in
floor.
that door.
That's what because this is during this chase scene when he does that. Because before Alfred, he asked Alfred, "Hey, he was trying to get in the door?" And he was like, "Yo, all the doors are locked, but this one, what's the deal?" Or he said, "I can get into every room, but this one." He was like, "Oh,
right.
that's Master Wayne's ex-dead wives or some stupid shit like that." Come on, nobody was going, "Oh yeah, that makes sense." Even he was like,
Right.
"That's bullshit." You know it, old man. That's like when you said that scene when he was just like, "Master Dick," and he was like, "Yeah." He was like, "Just checking." And then he goes in. And why is the door so slow?
Very slow.
He goes in it and it's like closed and like.
And because even like before that, it's just so much weird stuff that happens in this movie. We get the kung fu laundry scene, which is weird, where he starts kicking the socks and flipping them over like nunchucks. It's
completely unnecessary.
I said Robin doesn't do laundry normal.
No, yeah, I just put kung fu laundry because that's so stupid.
And Alfred was looking at him like, the hell?
Yeah, and then was like we were on this random Two-Face chase, which I love because they're just following in these old school cars with guns attached to them.
Just on an overall basis, because you did mention it in terms of that character bit, but I love Tommy Lee Jones. I just do because he's one of those people that we know the Nicolas Cages, Jack Nicholson. I'm talking about people who the characters really become them and everything. And Tommy Lee Jones is the same way. He did it, but it's Tommy Lee Jones being whatever.
And he's just good. I love the way he talks in this, where it's like kind of like fast, old timey, but also kind of slimy at the same time. I don't know how to describe, but it's weird. But he does that.
Yeah, I love.
He kills it. He kills it.
Love him.
Yeah,
that was it.
So, no, he shoots at this dude with a rocket launcher. There's some it's just classic Batman stuff going on here, and then eventually
it is. It's just classic, over the top, campy, corny.
Yeah,
all of that.
And this stuff is when the movie is at its best because it's just fun Batman stuff. It's just fun Batman stuff.
So then I think is when it moves to when Riddler goes to introduce himself to Two-Face.
Two-Face's hideout, which is
goes in there.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then we have Drew Barrymore, and I keep forgetting her name, but she's like really dope, and she's in a bunch of other stuff too.
Which one?
The one who plays his other, Debbie Mazar. She's in a bunch of other stuff too, as like a New York chick all the time.
Right.
What is she from?
I'm trying to think. I know she's in Beethoven. She's Space Truckers. That's the one I like. If you've never seen it, Space Truckers is a crazy movie that you should see. She's in Goodfellas.
Yeah, that's probably one of those movies I tried not to watch. I'm sure your dad was watching it at some point.
She's in The Tuxedo.
I can't get in it.
Empire. Really? Like she's been in stuff as like that tough nosed New York Italian girl all the time, and she's cool. She's cool. But yeah, those are his harlots.
Yeah. So basically, once he convinces Two-Face that
he basically gives him the drug dealer speech.
Yeah.
Gives him a little bit, and he was like, "I'll have some more of that." And he was like, "No. Only the first taste is free." I was like, "Bro, are you selling crack right now?"
Sorta.
And so then they start robbing everywhere. Getting all this money because
casino.
Because basically what he needs is financing.
Yeah.
In order to, that's what he was trying to get from Bruce Wayne in the first place.
Yeah, it was basically finance.
He was trying to get finance to do that. So now he's getting financing from them robbing all these places.
And I love this montage too.
I love it. He's a diamond. He's like, "Oh, this is." He's like, "Oh, what
tiny ass diamond."
Look at that.
And this is good because unlike in Batman Returns, where the Penguin and Catwoman, even though they agreed to work together, that literally only lasted for like 5 minutes before they turned on each other again, and they weren't really like partners anyway. These two are a team. The rest of the movie,
they are.
They are 100% a
bad
team.
guys grouping up to do bad guy things.
And it's fun. It's fun when they're doing stuff together, and it's just them being stupid. He's like, "Two-Face, show me how to punch a guy."
Right. So this is all going on. This is what we're talking about. What's going on, and then that's when Dick Robin, finds
He finds the Batcave.
about the Batcave.
And then he took the car.
Does his parkour and gets in there like, what the?
And I hate this scene because when Alfred calls Bruce because he's in the middle of talking to Chase again for some reason, he's like, Master Dick took the car. And he's like,
yeah, the car.
Rolls Royce.
Like,
no,
yeah.
the other car.
The Ferrari.
He keeps naming just keep naming cars. He was like, you mean the Maserati? No, the other car. Oh, yeah, of course, the Ferrari.
What a
No,
douche.
the other car. Oh, it was the Chrysler. Yeah, you're right, the Chrysler. the Batmobile, you idiot.
Basically, yeah, he's joyriding in the Batmobile.
Oh my god, this is so dumb.
And then, this is the dumbest of all.
This is the dumbest.
He gets out there, he sees chicks, of course, because they're like, woo.
Do you recognize these women?
I did. Oh yeah, in Vogue.
Yep.
Yes.
Oh.
I thought that was because in my memory, I remembered that, and I was like, why do I remember that? Why is that important? But it was because it was kind of like one of those things when they used to do like the HBO vignettes when they're like, this movie's coming out starring, and they'd be like, if they were doing like little interviews, like, yeah, we have a small role. Like, that was it. Yeah. And it was dumb. He was trying to pick up black chicks, which is smart. Of course you do. You got a Batmobile.
Right.
Like,
then they go, okay, let me tell you now, I didn't understand why, from there.
Yeah.
He started following.
Well, when you talk about when he followed that girl, right?
It was another chick.
Yeah. Okay, I'll tell you what happened. When he was trying to pick up those harlots, so to speak, these dudes were messing with this girl, and they were hassling her already. And then they were like, "Oh no, it's Batman!" And then they saw it was him. They're like, "Man, fuck this guy!" And they just took her. And then he heard her scream, and then went after her.
Oh, okay. I think I was like zoning out at that point.
No, this is probably a good point. A good place to zone the fuck out.
That's what was happening. And then here comes where the pops of color.
Yeah, it's so much. Like they're wearing glow in the dark paint all over their clothes, and in this one alleyway. Like it's so weird that just like you guys colored this very particular alley.
And they were in deep. They were indeed like all of them.
So the thing about it for those who don't understand the darkness of this world and everything, because in every other program, whether it be a movie, show, or otherwise, this is always very dark and stealthy when things are going on. Like one thing I noticed again in Titan, like they'll show a scene like where Robin was doing all kind of stuff and you barely could see what was going on. All you hear is, you hear the darkness, like, oh, slash this, that, and the other. And, he comes out, he's bloody and stuff like that. It's like, you haven't watched, Donna.
I got to
don't listen to Christian, but you need to watch.
I just got to finish it. I zoned out in the middle of the third season. After they killed Hawk, I was like, fuck it, I'm out.
I know that was jacked up. Yeah, sorry. I know you just spoiled it.
Sorry. I thought you guys were watching it together. I don't know what happened.
No, because they decided to watch things without me. So
I don't have time for her because I would never watch anything.
I'm trying to stay awake, man. I can't watch anything.
The point is,
anyway,
see where all that laundry kung fu gets put to good use because he starts fighting these guys and he's doing a really good job. Right. One guy, the leader, gets his ass handed to him, and then he claps, and then more people come out. I always have a big problem with this because I'm like, what the fuck were they doing? Just waiting around to see what happens?
Because you ever seen the Warriors?
Yeah, but even with
that's what gangs like her, and the gangs are like
the Warriors works that way.
Put me in, coach.
The Warriors works better because they were going through gangs' territories the entire movie, so it's not like they didn't know that they were going to get surrounded at some point.
Right.
And even when they got to Coney Island, the rest of the Warriors finally showed up.
Yeah.
So it makes more sense. But this is just like those guys were like, damn, they're getting their asses kicked down there. Like,
don't no. Wait till they call you.
For the clap. It's important.
Right. Exactly.
They just come up out of nowhere.
Then attack them one by one thing.
So I put after that, basically, he's all in trouble. And Batman has to come and save him, basically.
My notes say Batman has to kill him. He has no choice. Like, you don't know this kid like that. You're trusting him with this secret. He wants to kill Two-Face by any means necessary.
Yeah.
Who's to say that he's not going to do it again, take some more stuff, blab, whatever the case may be? You got to kill this kid. You got to kill this kid. He's like, you're right. Yeah, he does. He tries to bargain. He's like, hey, train me. Let me be your partner. I can be Bat Boy, whatever the case may be. Like, no, you can't kill Two-Face because killing's bad. I was like, okay, point of contention. You moved out of the way of a rocket and let a whole car of Two-Face goons just get blown up. You also put a bomb on a guy. They're dead.
Technically, he didn't kill them.
I don't care. They're dead.
He might have let them die in this situation.
He kills in every Batman movie multiple times, and we just act like it doesn't happen.
They just don't show it.
No, in Batman Returns, he puts that bomb on the fat clown and throws him down the sewer. That guy's dead. He sets another guy on fire. That guy is dead.
No. He kills people. We know that. But they're bad people.
No, he doesn't kill main people. He only kills his side characters. Because no one cares if they're dead. He's like, look, you can kill all the henchmen thugs you want, but you can't kill the main
after that whole scenario, right? And then, he's trying to get him to convince him. But in the meantime, Enigma, Edward, aka the Riddler, as himself, has an event because now he's hot shit.
The Gotham event.
His stocks
with his company
have basically doubled whatever Wayne Enterprise.
Enigma Tech or something like that.
Something like that. Yeah.
It's like virtual reality.
And of course, he has to take what's her name, Dr. Meridian, to the
I'm not giving her the title of doctor because she doesn't do anything.
She didn't do any doctoring.
So now, so they go to so is it before this or after this when she finally tells when she decides she's in love with Bruce Wayne instead of Batman?
Not yet. That's not yet. Yeah, it's the point where they're still doing that. Will they? Won't
so
they?
Go to the event.
Okay. Well, let's talk about this. So when he gets in there, he runs into to Edward Nigma or whatever, and he's dressed like him, and he's got his hair like him, glasses and everything.
He's got regular clothes.
Yeah,
he's totally trying to be another Bruce Wayne-esque character.
Yeah, he's mirroring him.
That's when he's got Drew Barrymore on his side, and
which
all
was a
that.
smart choice if you're trying to portray something. You don't pick the other one. People are gonna be like, "Oh man, no, he gets dirty. Look at her." That's why he picked Drew.
Wow,
she's so pretty.
Yeah, okay.
Don't even talk. I don't know nothing. Don't you be ragging on Drew. Okay.
Look, you couldn't even get her name right. You don't care.
Hey, I want to talk about this, like this part or whatever, when they're talking or whatever. And Bruce says, if you can project images into the mind, what's preventing you from extracting? But I think it's so funny because I was like, the first thing I said, Mom was sitting right there. I said, different process.
It is 100% a different process. You can't just do the same thing.
But what he's saying is given access.
I know, I get that, but
what is going to stop you from trying to do that?
No, he was saying it like what's preventing, like it goes both ways like that.
Right back, y'all. I'll be right back.
We got this.
Okay,
y'all gotta go on without me.
But to me, it's funny because he does do that where he's like, he asked him that, and he's just kind of like, "You're right." That's it. He doesn't even disagree. He's just like, "Well, why don't you step in and find out? Are you scared? Big bad man, you scared?" He tries to punk him to use it.
And what's crazy is he really does though. Like he gets him to use it.
Well, because Bruce thinks he's being slick, and he takes out the little thingy, and then he goes in, and then he's like, "Oh, I'm just gonna put this back." Duh. And he does. He was like, he goes in and he sees a bat, and he's like, "Oh, I gotta get out of here."
Yeah.
Bats.
Yeah. Two-Face and the gang run in.
Yeah, this is good times. Another good Two-Face thing where he comes in and Bruce Wayne disappears.
Yeah, right. Nobody mentions anything. Chase was there with him.
Yeah.
And
everyone was here, not just Chase. Everyone.
yeah, no. And even though like the Riddler extracted stuff from his mind or whatever, it's like you couldn't tell already he was Batman. There's too many giveaways. Like
Yeah, but there's a scene here that I want to see. There has to be like a 15-minute short, and it's when Two-Face comes in, Batman just Bruce leaves right out the front door, and he goes to the just goes out the front door. He goes to the car and he was like, I need the other suit, Alfred. He sits in the car. I'm like, so is he changing in the car into his bat suit?
right?
Then not only does he have to do that, he also has to put the eyeliner on. I need to see that process. I need to see that whole process because it is irritating.
It's a pain in the ass. Have you ever changed in a car before?
Oh my God.
Yeah, I have, and it sucks.
I think we all have. That is the worst.
It's so stupid because
scenario.
I'm imagining that rubber suit, him trying to get into this thing in the car, and also putting on his guy liner. And I'm just like, come on, dude. By the time you get done, whatever Two-Face had to do, he's done.
He's already done it.
It's over.
And maybe he's just mastered it because it's been so long. He's mastered putting the suit on efficiently and his makeup on.
Because he goes and then he breaks through, and I love this line from Jim Carrey. He was like, "Your entrance was good, his was better." That was also a trailer line, and it was at the show at Six Flags when they used to do that thing. And yeah, it was pretty. It was a pretty good entrance. And then he just starts fighting goons again, and in the same scene, Chris O'Donnell or Dick Grayson goes out and he's like, "Alfred, I need my suit." He's like, "What's happening?" And we never see him do anything after this. It's that he just comes in after Two-Face basically buries Bruce under grain?
Oh yeah.
Something like that. I thought it was pieces or something.
I don't know. It looked like he could have easily just climbed his way out of it if he really wanted to.
Yeah.
I don't know. But then because a hand goes in and we're like, oh, I wonder who that is. Like, you know who the fuck it is. Come on, man.
It's Richard or Dick.
Yeah. I still don't get, but whatever. I just don't get it.
That's the thing we keep saying. What is it? Robert, Bob, Richard, Dick. What's the other one?
William, Bob. Wait,
William, Bob. No, William, Bill.
Bill, there we go.
How do you get...
Yeah, right?
It's so weird. It's just, I don't understand it, but I guess it's not for me to understand. And then this is where we get the scene where they come back and he's like, oh, just let me help you. You can't do this alone. He was like, he starts throwing out nicknames. He was like, I could be Bat Boy. And he was like, how about
Nightwing?
Nightwing.
He does. Oh, so cool. And I was like, just give me that one.
That thing where
they got that in there.
I could just see it now. Me at that age. Oh my God, he said Nightwing. Mom, get in here. He said Nightwing.
That's probably exactly what you sounded like too.
I'm telling you, man. I would have been so stoned. I would have had a heart attack.
Oh yeah, you were completely geeked.
I was so geeked, and I'm still kind of geeked seeing it after seeing it all these years. I'm just like, this is the only time we've seen Robin in a movie.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess if you count the one after this, but
yeah,
the one after. I was like, what is?
But it was but that was it.
But then they also threw in Alicia Silverstone for some reason.
Oh yeah, as Batgirl. Yeah.
It was so bad.
Yeah, she wasn't the best choice. Number one.
She's not the best choice for anything.
That was definitely a garnishing type character.
Well, yeah, it was coming after Clueless, and
there was no real reason for her to be in there.
No real reason for her to be in anything other than Clueless.
She was popular, in demand.
She should have only been in Clueless and the subsequent TV show that came out after it, which she was in. They were all in.
Which was pretty good. Actually.
That was actually it was good.
Yeah,
and that's it.
Not the name of it, but yeah, it was pretty good.
That's it.
Oh, the Clueless show. No, she had another show too. That was actually pretty decent. I forgot what it was.
No, it couldn't have been.
But so. She must have been good enough because usually movies change all the characters, and she got to play that character in the show.
Yeah, I guess.
So anyway, I'm like, okay, so
We
where are
go
we
to
at?
another useless scene.
With Chase.
Yeah, I
You know
just
what?
put
Go ahead.
about when with him and the freaking doctor again.
Chase. Stop calling her a doctor.
Okay,
She doesn't
Chase.
deserve the
When she's
respect.
telling Bruce Wayne, oh no, Batman now that she's not in love, she's
Yeah,
not in
because
love with him.
this is a scene
Basically
that I
now
thought
she's
was
in love
weird.
with Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, because she was like, she tells him at some point, I don't remember where. Oh, when he was at the Two-Face thing, at the Two-Face and Riddler thing, when she sees him and she's like, meet me at midnight. And then she sleep.
No, she sleep naked.
She was
She
just
was
like,
waiting for him.
that's what I said. I was like, she was stupid, bro.
Oh.
And
yeah, I didn't say you did, but I thought it. I was like, look, you were gonna
And
break up with
she
them
did that
after.
just to tell him she's in love with another man.
Well, because once she realized that he wasn't gonna give her what she needed, she was just like, I might as well just do it quick.
yeah, and then somewhere in this after that is where Riddler figures out that Bruce Wayne is Batman.
He figured it out because when he goes into the machine and they do the bat thing, he was like, why is Bruce Wayne obsessed with bats? And it was like, I don't know, man. Some people like bats.
And there was some, I don't know what came somewhere after that, but I just put in my notes, Val Kilmer is the worst.
This date is so dumb. He's just like, I have something to tell you. Like, so do I. Oh, okay, you go first. And she was like, well, I'm not talking to Batman anymore.
And I like Val Kilmer in so many things.
He's just so bad in this.
That's what makes it so bad. Ugh.
Yeah, because he's just like, this is so dumb. And then it's Halloween, so I don't know how much time has passed.
This is where it gets worse. Well, first, I think Robin goes to try to find Two-Face.
Yeah.
Himself.
Because he basically was like, if you continue on this path, you got to leave. He's like, well, fuck it, I'm out.
Yeah.
Bye. Yeah, because he's just like, yeah, okay, whatever. He was like, you can't kill him because if you kill him, then you become him and you start killing more people and it's never enough. I was like, but you don't know that.
That's exactly like it escalated quickly.
He was like, yeah, you took the worst case scenario. It was like, this is what.
Well, that's why he presented it, because he's like, you don't want to fall into that whole thing where you become which happened to Dick Grayson, and before or in the interim between being Robin and Nightwing, he definitely takes the darker road. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, he's not wrong.
Sure.
Yeah.
Per se.
You could see it in him. He was vengeful.
This Batman is 100% wrong. He's like the one thing that like always bugged me about Batman is he hates other vigilantes. And I'm just like, okay.
You want all the glory?
You're not the authority here, buddy. You don't get to decide who gets to do what. You can't be the only one going.
And I guess that's been across the board.
Yeah.
Because it was even like that in Titans. Same thing. Yeah.
But he's like that. He's just like when in Gotham, like there was
he feels he has a good reason to be the way he is.
Well, he
but nobody else.
He's like, you're not trained. I was like, bro, neither were you.
You think about it?
Experience.
Right.
What do we know about
when he was a little boy, and it was something where he fell down into this thing, and then he falls and he lands on his feet like that. I was like, his legs would have been broke. And then your dad was like, well, he's Batman. I'm like, he wasn't Batman.
He wasn't Batman yet.
His
but
legs
no, it is.
broken.
It is kind of an arrogance in a way where he's just like, no, I have to do this by myself.
Well, when I think about it, I'm like, you think about Batman, he's kind of control freak. He's psycho. Psychotic control freak.
Yeah, no.
He
needs to have control of every situation.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
He didn't even want to join the Justice League because he didn't want them telling him what to do, basically.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
Absolutely. Hey, side note. I know both of you one of y'all posted something, I think, or mentioned it. This Wonder Twin thing happened. Is that a thing?
I don't know. But I want me and Jonna should definitely be playing the Wonder Twins and nobody else.
Who do we call?
I need to know. I'm like, hey, look, we've already been saying it over and over again. and I've got bucket of water down to a science. So I can do this.
Form of a bucket of water.
I'm telling you, man. I don't know how they're gonna try to bring this into like realism, realism, but don't. I want to hear this nigga say a bucket of water. I want to hear it.
Man.
I can't.
I think for the kicks and giggles, they should do something like that.
I promise you, there is
homage.
Yeah, there's no way you can bring in the Wonder Twins and they don't do the corniness that made them so great. Otherwise, you're wasting your time.
You have to look. Either you have to go full corn, or you got to hint, at it.
Make it a comedy.
But you have to do it. They've done it with so many things, and it works. It works.
Yeah.
Like Charlie's Angels.
You got to do it. You got to do it. If you don't do it, I'm out.
To do it. Yeah.
I'm out. If I want it,
that's why I want to see that other Charlie's Angels, because I feel like they weren't going to hit that stuff, and it's like that was just part of the culture.
They didn't. Yeah. They didn't do it at all. It was terrible. I wouldn't even recommend it.
You watched it?
I still didn't see it.
You know, I kind of had to, just out of curiosity, and it was just,
we might have to put that on something.
If it's on and I'm around, I'll watch it. But
no,
I'm not
gonna break a day.
I won't even break my idleness.
I'm not gonna burn my calories pushing buttons on my remote.
No, I'm not.
Okay.
So, anyways, this is the scene you were talking about, Mom.
The trick or treaters.
The trick or treat. Out he goes. You see two obvious grown men.
Well, no. Before that, because there were trick or treaters.
Yeah, there were actual trick or treaters.
How did they get in there? I'm still disturbed by that.
There's got to be a better process.
Innocent trick or treaters were able to get up to the door, ring the doorbell, and they're like, trick or treat.
I promise.
Oh my gosh. So annoying.
This isn't even the first time this has happened to him in a Batman movie where people just go to his house to fuck him up. Like, you gotta be
here they come, Two-Face and the Riddler, and they're like, trick or treat. And he's like, I was like, dude, you ain't even a little?
No.
A little?
Yeah, they come in, they knock this nigga out immediately.
He wasn't on alert at all.
No, he wasn't on alert, dude. Alfred, your days are numbered, man. You're fired, dude.
Yeah.
You're absolutely 100% fired.
And then come in there, bonk his ass on the head.
Look, this is funny because this has one of the weirdest like scenes that they never edited properly. Because when he falls, you can see his hands move the tray over. And it's just like so weird that he was like, even when I'm hurt, got to be perfect. The tray goes in the corner.
I gotta watch it again.
It's weird. It's weird because I noticed that a long time ago because I think it was like
oh my god!
Somebody pointed it out.
I literally have it in my notes. I'm like, how in the heck did trick or treaters get to Wayne Manor's front door?
Just so easily, man.
Why? They got big old iron gates in front of it, and obviously he has the top-notch surveillance.
He's just dumb. He's bad. He's bad at Batmaning in these movies.
Oh my gosh, the worst.
So they come in and Jim Carrey is just chewing up every ounce of scenery, just killing this whole thing. He's doing impressions out the wazoo. He is having way too much.
Look,
Jim Carrey.
Look, I said Riddler and Two-Face trick or treat, and Alfred opens the door, gets knocked TF out, and then I said mayhem ensues.
It's bad, and then Two-Face is just his goons are shooting at him, and once again, he's doing a lot of stuff Batman would do. This nigga is fighting. He's sliding over a table that knocks over the other guy when he gets to the end. And she's just like, no, please, let's get out of here. And he's like, all right. And it's just bad. It's pretty bad. She gets kidnapped. He blows. The Riddler blows up.
That's what I put too. Cue all the corny stuff with the henchmen. And then
finally,
Bruce gets knocked TF out.
Well, he gets shot, but he's great.
But I guess it must have knocked his head hard enough to knock him out.
I don't know, dude. It looked like he was slightly scratched. I don't know how you tried to explain that.
It didn't look dramatic the way they did it.
It was so dramatic.
I said Dr. Meridian Chase. They take her.
Yeah,
that's my note in. So I'm gonna have to piggyback off of what y'all said.
Well, that's what I'm saying. They're supposed to. At that point, they're supposed to take you. That's the movie. That should have been happened a long time ago. Like, why wait now? And this is why I say that I think Jim Carrey is auditioning for the Joker. Everything he does in this scene is how I imagine the Joker in the animated series.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
This is after the animated series, so it means that this exists. Mark Hamill is killing it as the Joker in the animated series, and this is.
I remember thinking he was the Joker when I was a kid in this movie.
Because it's how else can you see that? If it wasn't for the question marks,
yeah,
you would be like,
I didn't even pay him any mind.
No, because they didn't do like again. So, in terms of mainstream, this character was introduced into the show, the corny ass show from back in the '67.
Awesome ass.
But he was always talking in riddles. So in this case, he was not. He did a couple of things, but in reality, I can see where you could say that in reality, was he the Riddler?
And that's the thing, because at the end of the day,
he didn't have to be the Riddler.
The Riddler didn't even mean anything.
Right.
They barely amounted to shit. Like, it was
could have been any psycho.
Well, not even just that, because the whole point was, like, one of the things that's great about the Riddler is, especially when it pertains to Batman, is that his whole thing is, I'm smarter than you.
Right.
And that's his whole goal, to prove that he's smarter. He's trying to stump Batman. This guy is just like, fuck Bruce Wayne.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know what I mean? And everything he does is to essentially try and kill Bruce Wayne. And it's just dumb. Because it's like, okay, your motivation is so stupid. You could have been done it. And then you're just like, oh, no, not now, not here, not now, not here, not now, not here. It's like, this movie is going to take way longer if you just don't try to kill this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no defining factor that makes you be like, that was a great Riddler performance. You're just like, that was a good villain performance, I guess.
Right,
you know what I mean?
But not necessarily to really say that was a great Riddler.
Nah, it wasn't.
No, for real.
So anyways, Alfred, he wakes up Bruce or whatever. And they talk about what happened and they figure out who Enigma was. And he flies.
Like he didn't know before that.
Huh?
He didn't know before then.
Holy shit! How do you not know?
Terrible detective skills.
Right, and he is really, literally supposed to be the best detective.
That's what I said. They do a shitty job of making Batman in these things.
Right.
Because it's like, okay, I'm sorry. Just because you had that clean cut, I'm like, hey, I saw you the other day. You had your hair colored differently. You know?
Yeah.
Wearing a green jumpsuit.
Yeah, he was clueless.
They just made Batman a dark superhero.
I honestly, I swear, if that was Michael Keaton, he wouldn't have stood for it. He'd have been like, no, Batman would never.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
But Val Kilmer was like, I'm just lucky to be in this movie.
He's like, I just want to wear the suit, man. I'm just here for the bat nipples.
Wow.
Yeah, so then he was like, we get to the scene where he's just like, all right, Alfred, did they take everything or did they destroy everything? He's like, no, only the prototype sonar suit, but it hasn't been tested. It was like, okay. No one cares. There's no reference for that.
It just comes out of the blue.
Yeah, there's just no reference for you to be like, this sonar suit that he never uses.
Yeah.
It's just like, all right, cool. We're testing it now. And then here comes Dick Grayson in his Robin outfit. And I'm just like, Bruce, you have no idea what's going on.
He was the flying Grayson.
Yeah. Like, this is not gonna fly. You can't.
Everything's happening right under his nose and he don't even know. He's like so caught off guard.
You're bad at this. You don't know what's going on under your own roof. Alfred is making a whole nother suit.
Right. That's a good one though. I liked it too.
It was a good. I liked the suit.
Yeah.
Of course I did. I was hyped. I was like,
so they gotta get going and catch these fools or whatever.
Yeah, they're taking too long. He was like, you're gonna need help. You can't do it on your own. He was like, I mean, sure, because I have been getting my ass kicked this entire movie. I might as well get some help. He was like, and then I like when he was like, I can't promise that I won't kill Two-Face. I was like, throughout everything, this guy was just like, I'm gonna try. But
Yeah. Yeah, it sounded half-hearted.
That was just a disclaimer, just to put it out there.
Yeah, pretty much. So then
Just in case something happens, I'm not responsible.
This is like probably the ending of this is kind of like rushed and stupid because they get on the boats, they do the battleship thing, which is like, yeah, it's the 90s. You kind of have to do it because they re-brought out Battleship and had those newer commercials. And it's so bad.
Take my man.
Yeah, it's stupid.
I like how he does a classic catch the sea henchman with a net.
Yo, that gave me anxiety.
Right?
Because they were under, I was like, they're gonna die. Like the water nets are heavy and they're swimming and they're just. I was like, oh god.
Imagine getting caught up like that. Oh,
that's all I could think about. That was literally all I could think about. I was stressed. I felt bad for those guys. I was like, man, they're just doing their jobs, Bruce.
So they head to a shore.
Oh, this is my favorite. This is my favorite line in this whole thing, though, because it is a callback to the corny one. Where he goes, "Holy rusted metal, Batman."
What? He's like, no,
it's metal and it's all rusty and full of holes.
I like that they did that.
But Val Kilmer's response was, "Okay." Come on, man. Give me something to work with. We give you classic gold. We give you a callback.
Yes.
Nothing. Oh, he's trash.
Yeah.
But yeah, we get there. Now we're at the final confrontation. It's Two-Face fighting Robin. He is over the ledge. He falls for his stupid fake out where he's like, "Oh no, go ahead and let me die. You're just as bad as me. I'll see you in hell." He was like, I'm better help this guy up. And he's just like, yeah, that was stupid. He's captured. And then Batman gets in there and he's listening to the Riddler talk his ass off. This lasts so long.
Monologuing.
He starts monologuing.
It's like a 10-minute monologue, though. And I was like, I zoned out. I don't remember what he was saying.
Right, no.
I couldn't even write anything down. I was like, nah.
So dumb. And then he's like, yeah, I got them both here. Ha, 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 ha. He, he. Ho, ho, ho.
Literally.
And then he's like, well, I have a riddle for you. Oh, a riddle. Just all of that extra. And he's just like, well, what is it? Something can't see. Oh, you're a bat. He was like, duh. And then hits the thing and it fucks him up somehow. He still lets the buttons go. He saves
Robin ends up kicking Two-Face's ass.
No,
then he saves him.
Yeah, we did that. We did that already.
Yeah,
oh, okay.
Yeah, he saves him.
Stay with him.
Stupidly. I would have let him
try.
I'd be like, hey, Bruce, I tried. Oh, man, I was there. I had my hand out and everything just fell.
Yeah.
What are you going to do? But yeah, so he saves them both, and you get a mini shot of Nicole Kidman's lack of ass, and I'm sure somebody got really excited by that.
He gets back that stupid doll. What is it called? Malaysian something doll?
Well, no, we're not there yet either, because then Two-Face is like, he shows back up, and he's just like, ha, 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 ha. I'm evil, guys, and I'm going to shoot someone. Bang, bang, bang. Oh, yeah. And he was like, wait, don't you got to flip a coin? It was like, right, I forgot that my character does that. Just come on. Like, it's the most important part of this character.
That's your thing.
The good guy can't remind you that that's your thing. That's so stupid. And he was like, you're right. And he flips the coin. And then Batman throws a bunch of other coins. And I was like, so you just keep silver dollars with you everywhere you go? Or what's the deal here?
For this very reason.
This is that Batman with prep time argument that everyone's always talking about. Because it's like, yeah, he knew he was going to need all of those silver dollars.
Well, okay, that's the one way he was a prepared Batman in this movie.
That's so stupid.
That's the only way he was prepared in this movie.
Because then Two-Face is trying to catch every single coin, apparently, and then he falls to his death, and Robin's just like, yeah, okay, cool. I didn't do it, but cool.
Yeah.
He was all right with it.
And honestly, that's where my note died, because that's where this movie should have ended.
But then,
no.
What the part with Enigma, Riddler?
Well, yeah, he goes back to him, and he's just like, hey, you're such a horrible, feeble old man now. I don't know what his deal is.
He's like, why won't you die? You know?
Yeah, and he was like, 'cause I'm Batman.
pretty much.
Mhm.
So they take him, put him in the
Crazy
crazy
how
home.
Arkham. He goes to
Yeah,
Arkham where he's supposed to
basically.
go.
And then that's when they go to the scene where Nicole Kidman, Chase, goes over there to talk to him, and he's like, "What did he say?" She
He says he's
said,
Batman.
"Oh yeah." He's like, "You know who Batman?" He said, he said he knows who Batman is." And she goes over here, "So I understand you know who Batman is." And he's like, "Yes, I'm Batman."
I'm like, well, yep, he's
He
crazy.
started doing the thing.
Yep, that guy's loony.
And she goes out
Open
like,
and shut case,
let's
Johnson.
keep it safe. This
You see
dude
Tim
is
Burton there?
off his rocker.
You see Dr. Did you guys see Dr. Burton? Dr. Tim Burton?
What, he made a cameo?
Yeah, it was him. He was a doctor.
Oh, I didn't even know.
His name was even Dr. Burton.
Oh, get out of here.
Really?
Oh, wow. Nope, didn't even catch
I missed
it.
that.
Yeah,
No.
you would, because who could
Wow.
care? We should have been over already.
Yeah.
This is when she
So
gives him that doll
then
back.
we move on to the part at the end. You know, they got to show the Batman and Robin running.
Well, they also showed that gross kiss.
Oh, yeah. I thought so. That's why I didn't say
Disgusting,
anything
man.
about that.
Oh, God.
Didn't need it.
Yes.
This is
They didn't.
the worst.
But that little, you know, they got to be.
It wasn't even a good, it wasn't even a good kiss. They look gross. They look legitimately disgusting. Like neither one of them has ever kissed a person before.
He didn't warrant anything. That's why they say nothing. It's like, whatever.
It just felt like a nasty kiss because it didn't feel like love.
Yeah, then there's the run, and then finally this movie is over. And this movie soundtrack doesn't have a notable song in it.
Yes, it does.
What is it?
Baby, it's
that's Batman and Robin.
I thought it was Batman Forever.
Batman and Robin has that kiss from a rose from a grave.
Yeah, that's
I could have sworn I heard it in the credits.
This song has
check because I remember hearing it in the credits.
Today.
Huh?
We just heard that song today, John.
No. I heard it in the credits too.
No, it's not. It's not on there.
No, I don't think so.
I'm
gonna look it up. I remember hearing it.
I don't think so. But at the end of the day, here's the question. The question is, did he meet the challenge? So I'm gonna start.
Okay.
No.
I don't think
this is extremely comedic to me.
It was too much.
Like it was anything but not comedic. This was comedy on steroids.
That's not how it's classified.
What about you, Jara?
It's not how it's classified. So I mean,
but what do you think?
But what do you think?
Oh, I think it was the whole way through. It was hilarious. Like there was nothing I didn't find like comical because like I was like, what?
Otherwise, it was
WTF?
Just a comedy.
I agree. I think I failed. Like once I started watching this, I was like, oh shit, this is.
I was a little excited to see it, and then I was like, wow.
I was really upset though that they took it off HBO Max and I had to freaking rent this damn movie.
Oh yeah, we did too.
Bullshit. It's been on freaking HBO Max for months, and now it's not on there.
I didn't see it on there.
All the bad. What did they lose the licensing for it? It's a DC property. What the fuck?
Yeah, man. I was like, pay $4 for this thing.
All right. It's time for some final thoughts. Who wants to start it?
I'll do it.
All right. Jana, final thoughts.
My final thoughts of this movie is what the hell? But I don't regret watching it as an adult. I don't.
What do you rank it?
I'm gonna rate it a 3.
That's not bad.
I'm trying to be nice.
That's generous.
Yeah,
that is generous.
Final thought.
Okay, me. Well, first of all, I was not looking forward to it because I've been there already once.
I did,
but it was even worse this time because I've had so many years in between the 90s and now.
Right.
And seen so many things, you know, not just Batman things, but other superhero things between movies and shows. This was the campiest, corniest, over the top, looking like the old Batman show movie that I have ever seen. It just, like I said, it missed the pow, bang, boom.
Batman and Robin.
Ooh, it was It was rough. It was rough. So if I gotta rate it, I'm giving it about a 1.5. And I'm still being generous.
All right. I've seen this movie a bunch because it used to be on TNT like all the time. So,
Right.
you know, you couldn't really escape it at some point. But yeah, I've seen this movie a lot. And honestly, it's not as bad as I remember it. It's just not great either. And I actually enjoyed watching this. I had Jaden and freaking Amira watching it with me. So it was all good. They've never seen this at all, so they had no idea. Jaden even thought that the Riddler was supposed to be the Joker, and I was because I was like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That if I had to rank this, I'd give it a 5. Like I actually enjoyed this movie more than I thought I would, and I think it's because I enjoy Tommy Lee Jones as Two-Face so much. He was great. And yeah, that's it. That's all I got.
It kind of brings back nostalgia in a way.
A little bit. It might be affecting my score.
But seeing it through my adult eyes compared to my kid eyes is a lot different.
This is just the biggest.
It was not a comedy when I was a kid. Now it is.
If you take Val Kilmer out of this movie, it's immediately a better movie.
Well, yeah, for sure. He ruined it.
100%.
Him and Nicole Kidman.
All right, Jonna.
Huh.
What's on the docket for next week?
Oh, so the movie I picked is The Truman Show.
Of course.
Pretty interesting movie. If you haven't seen
Can I
it,
get my rankings on that one now?
No.
No.
All right, good. That's cool. Yes.
So looking forward to that one. I think that's a good non-comedy. It's not supposed to be comedy, but it's got, of course, a little bit with Jim Carrey. But
We'll
I think
how it comes out at the end, in terms of how we can look at it. But
yeah,
I'm looking forward to that one. I mean, although I've seen it a gazillion times.
What are you gonna do? It's a good movie.
Yeah. All right. Well, another one in the bag.
That's my job. I'm gonna come up with the jingle, just a short jingle next week.
I'm sorry. I mean, since we're going corny.
I believe you. All right, guys. Same Family Reels time. Same Family Reels channel.
Family Reels.
That's enough. We're done. Latest.
Bye.